All right, guys, it's time for some real talk about budgets. Now, in this video, I don't want to talk about how to make a budget because there's a whole lot of people that have already done that and they're very, very good at it. They're good videos. You should go watch them. What I want to talk about is how you should think about budgets. I want to look at some negative connotations that are associated with budgets. I want to look at 3 reasons you should make a budget. And then at the end, we're going to throw in some tips and tricks for what you should do to make your budget even better, take it to the next level, even if you already have one. Now, the first negative connotation that I want to tackle is that budgets require you to limit yourself. That's not really true. You can make a budget of $1 billion and you're really not limited to much there. Your limitation comes from how much money you bring in, something that is a very real reality for pretty much everybody. Budgets are not meant to limit you. They're meant to help you understand your financial picture in life. What are you spending money on? What can you not be spending money on? What did a company just randomly increase the price of, like internet? Oh, I was paying $60 for internet last month and now I'm paying $85. Why? Now, the second negative connotation around budgets that I want to talk about is that they're just for poor people, that you need to make a budget because you can't afford anything. That's not true at all. You want to make a budget so that you know what you're spending on things. It does not matter what your financial class is. You should always understand what comes in and what goes out. Next, I'm going to talk about 3 things that budgets can help you with. 3 reasons that you want to have a budget in your life. The first reason you want a budget is so that you really understand what you're spending money on and how much money you're spending on that thing. Do you know how much money you spent on food last month? Whether that be at the grocery store or at restaurants or at gas stations, where did you spend money on food? And can you help control that a little bit? Is that where you really want to spend your hard-earned money? Would you rather transfer some of that to something else? That is something that a budget can really, really help with. The second reason that you want a budget is so you can understand where to cut back. Once you have a picture of your financial life, you might find things that you're spending way more money than you want to on. An example would be, say, streaming services. You've signed up for each streaming service as it goes, maybe for the free trial because they had a new show that you wanted to watch. And now you've got Netflix and Hulu and Spotify, HBO Max, CBS All Access, whatever NBC's thing is, Disney Plus. It's all there and you're paying for all of that every single month. And last month, maybe you only watched stuff on Disney Plus. You just had a Disney Princess movies free. Who doesn't do that? Only pay for the services which you need, and a budget can help you see where all that money is going, and you can choose whether or not you actually use these services anymore. The third reason is actually a bit counterintuitive for a lot of people. Budgets can help reduce financial anxiety. If you understand what you're spending money on, you are taking a step towards being financially independent. And a lot of people that have budgets in the negative, meaning they're piling on debt right now, are so stressed out to look at their bank account because let's be real, it's really freaking stressful to do that. If you're making negative money, looking at your bank account is never something that you want to do, at least in your head. It is definitely something that you should do. Even if you're in the red every month, you want a budget so that you understand what's going on and you can at least start the process of figuring out where you want to go from here. Finally, we want to talk about 4 tips for making your budgets better if you already have them, or making them successful if you have not created one yet. The first tip is that your budget is never going to be perfect. People's spending habits change as they get older, and they could even change year after year depending on what new thing comes out. Maybe there's a new service that you want to pay for. Maybe, like me, you're tired of getting really horrible haircuts at really cheap haircut places, so you move on to a fancier haircut place so that you feel better about your hair, but now it costs more and you have to cut something else back. Your budgets will be changing. don't worry about it. Your budget is just a blueprint for what you would like to achieve. And if you actually spend different amounts of money, it's not that big of a deal, so long as you're meeting that bottom line and you're still bringing in money instead of spending more than you currently have the means to. The second tip that I want to give you guys is to have two different levels of your budget. Your first level should be monthly. You want to understand where all your monthly payments are going and how much it costs each month. That's just a standard that companies use, is charging people monthly. And so it's good to capture that company standard by having your own monthly budget. The second type of budget that you should have is a yearly budget. Monthly budgets are great for the types of services that I just listed, but they do not give a very good picture for one-time expenses. Say you invested in the stock market. Say you took a couple vacations this year. It's difficult to pile a $2,000 vacation into a monthly budget because it makes you look like you're in the red a whole lot for that month. When you compile all of this in a year, you are balancing your budget a little bit more over all the months, and you can see in a bigger yearly picture, kind of like doing your taxes. Did I make money this year, or did I lose money this year? The third tip that I want to give you guys is to physically create your budget yourself. It's very tempting to use an app that will do it for you if you just upload your bank statement, but this doesn't get that personal connection that you really need to have in order to make your budget matter in your life. If you're not putting things into categories and understanding what those categories mean, it's not going to mean as much to you when you read through your budget that month or that year. I would always recommend having that personal connection to your budget, because it will get you that much closer and that much less stressed, actually, when you physically put those things in those blocks, to understanding what your financial picture is currently in your life. The fourth tip that I want to give you guys, and this is the hardest one to do, is to understand the fear behind making a budget. If you haven't made one yet and you're scared to, think about why that is. Understand what's going on in your mind and in your financial life that is making this so stressful. It really is a personal journey figuring this out. Financial understanding is a personal journey to some level. It helps you with freedoms in other parts of your life. It's nice to know that I have at least a little bit of money to go hang out with friends, instead of being so terrified of spending money when I'm out that I sit there eating no food while all of my friends eat around me and you just feel super awkward. That's something that a budget can help you with. And if you're afraid to make a budget, really do just think about it, contemplate it. You don't even have to do it right now. Just understand what's going on in your mind and go on that journey of personal growth. It really will be worth it, even if making a budget isn't the most fun thing you've ever done with your life. It is one of the most important. With that, I'd like to wrap this up. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this helps in your journey towards your financial security, and I would like to hear from you about what you think. So put some comments down, whatever you feel like you need to tell me. This channel is pretty small right now, so any comment will probably be read by me, and I will probably respond to it because I really love the topic of budgets. That's why it's coming out as one of my first videos, and I'm very passionate about helping people in their financial life to understand what sort of personal factors influence financial security and influence just really the whole financial understanding. So thank you again, and have a nice day.